I've been told that I'm live. That is amazing. Not as amazing as the world record that we just saw, but still amazing. Hello everyone. I'm Cadarev, and I will be running Timelie, which is a not so well-known indie puzzle game, I would say. Came out last year, and it's a point-and-click game. So those are not the most popular speed games, but if you know anything about them, or you can probably think about them as speed games, they are rather focus intensive because you need to click rather precisely in a fast manner, ideally. So my commentary may not be as optimal as it could be, but I will do my best regardless. So as you can see, the category name is a bit convoluted maybe, but basically a realm is a level, so we will be playing through all the levels. Reason for the New Game Plus is you can only skip cutscenes in New Game Plus, and we don't want to watch cutscenes, we want to play the game. And the game will, or rather the run will start once we're in the first level or realm. So I'll just give you a countdown and then we can go. So 3, 2, 1, and... if you get spotted, and I already messed this up, yeah, like that. If you get spotted, then of course that action will get interrupted. Or if for some environmental reasons, for example, a door closes on you or something, then of course also the action only completes as far as possible. So you also saw we have some other things to do other than just pointing and going somewhere. There are also buttons. Of course, those only open the corresponding colored doors. What am I doing? Thank you. And you may also realize so far there are not that many animals here, but that will change soon. Luckily, we also get to play as someone else, and that will be a cat, which we would see in the cutscene after this level, but we will not, because we will skip that cutscene. So here is an example of how you can trap enemies. So these robots are your main enemies. They scan the area around them, and if they see you, they will charge you, and you're very slow, and usually they will catch you, and then you have to do something else. So here you will see the cat for the first time. We cannot control it right now. There she is, but she did distract the robot for us, and that allows us to pass through the rest of the level. You also see this white sphere. Those are power-ups. Right now, all we can do with them is fix bridges like these that are destroyed, but we'll also get some more abilities later on. So this is already the end of the first chapter, and in the final level of each chapter, there are these pink spheres. And what they do is basically they reset the level, but they also complete a different part of the level. So there's a very subtle change to the level, but that allows us to go a completely different path now and proceed forwards. What it also does, however, is it changes the... what am I doing? It changes the... Please go back, thank you. I forgot to press this button. It changes the path of the enemies. So basically the same level is played multiple times, but we have to adjust our tactics each time. And that's pretty much that for this level. So this is now the final stage. Again, fix the bridge. Now go over here, and then we're good. So at the bottom of the screen, you see this this bar, which obviously represents the time that passes in the level. And we can freely go to the right or to the left, so we can go into the future, into the past. We can fast forward, we can turn back the time. As long as we get to the end of the level, it's all good. So now we go into chapter 2, and soon we will get to meet the cat again after this level. So the challenge in running this game is to click quickly but precisely, and then also fast forward the time at the correct moment, and just a small misclick or a mispress of the fast forward button can easily throw up your entire plans, and then it's more a problem solving than a speedrun, but we'll come to that soon enough. So there's the cat again. What am I doing? Still, we cannot control it, but I think it's the next level where we actually... No, actually the level after the next level. So next level we will be trying to escape with the cat. So now there's this new gimmick introduced where the level slowly disintegrates behind you, so there's somewhat of a time limit. And as you may have seen there, or have been hearing so far, the cat can meow, and the meowing distracts enemies, so they turn towards the cat, and we can pass by. The other big advantage the cat has, of course, is that it can go through these small shafts that the girl cannot go through, and now we can actually control the cat. That was incorrect, because I need to... Yeah, don't move that quickly. There we go. Meow. Okay, there we go. So yeah, now that we have two characters that we can and have to switch in between, plan their actions and fast forward, ideally at the correct time, the game got even more complex. It might not look too complex, because in the end, all you do is you have to get to the end of each level. What am I doing? But yeah, if you want to do it fast, then it gets complex. You also see these pressure plates. They are also rather self-explanatory. They open the doors correspondingly to their color. Here we kind of... Oops, we don't want to do that. Yes, because I forgot to switch the character. So that's what I meant. Just one misclick and you do the action with the completely wrong character. So there are some other differences. The cat moves a lot faster than the girl, so you can actually somewhat run away-ish from the robots. You're not faster than them, but you have a lot more leeway. But if the girl gets detected, it's basically always a lost cause. Did I click that? No, I didn't. Good thing I checked. That's also incorrect. Okay, there we go. So that is Chapter 2 progressing rather not so smoothly, but this is the second to last level, if I'm not mistaken. And this is where it gets way more complex. Wrong. I mean, it's not wrong that it gets more complex, but the action I did was incorrect. Okay, you go there. So here we're basically constantly distracting this robot from opening these hatches with the other robots, just for us to escape. And then before the final level of each chapter, we have a bridge level where the girl just runs along a bridge and nothing happens, and that's why we skip it. Okay, so again, a final level with these pink spheres. And again, so since we collected that sphere, now this bridge is fixed and the robot starts to walk over this blue button, which obviously opens that door over there. So again, many more possibilities. So now we can get this pink sphere, and as you might have guessed, this fixes the other bridge. So now we can actually reach, or we can draw the attention of the robot by meowing from across this aisle. And that obviously prolongs its path quite significantly, and it allows us to trap the... What am I doing? Trap the robot inside here, so just like that, which allows us to sneak by and go to the end of the level. So that's chapter 2 out of 5. First two chapters are rather short. The third one is by far the longest. It has the most levels. The chapters 4 and 5 are a bit shorter again. And the main reason why chapter 3, you will see I have to scroll through the levels here to play them in order. Reason why chapter 3 is so long is, as you may have seen there from the thumbnail of this first level, which is just a cutscene, the girl and the cat get separated. Which is pretty weird when you got used to like coordinating them, and then the game splits them up again, but that's how it is. And that's what we have to deal with. So now, without meowing, of course, we are a bit limited. And that's why we just have to sneak by the enemies as well as we can. But of course, since we're the goal, we get the power-ups, and as I said, so far all we can do with them is we can fix bridges, but after this level that will change. But to solve this quickly, actually we will draw. Yeah, you saw there the enemy got aggroed, but basically the enemy aggro behavior is such that they remember your last position and they will charge towards that, and if they lose eyesight or sight of you, in the meantime, they will not charge after you after that. And in that cutscene, we learned a new ability now. Basically now we can destroy robots with these spheres. In-game lore-wise, it's explained that we can just fast forward the time or durability of the robots so far that it just disintegrates. So that's cool. We killed a very specific enemy there because we will actually revisit certain levels later on, and that is one of them. As is this one, which is why I'm taking a slightly weird path here. That will not work here. So we're taking a slightly weird path. That will not work again. Let me just wait this one out. Okay. Yeah, we're taking a longer path here, as I said. It will cost us a bit of time right now, but it will come in handy later when we will revisit this level. Because we'll get here 2 more times, and hopefully I did it correctly, I'm not sure, otherwise I will have to replay it again. Anyway, the good part is now, because now we play only as the cat. So we can meow again, and again go through these passageways only the cat can go, because it's small. So here again we distract them first just by sight, then by meowing again. I hope that works out. Yeah, okay. So again, if this is the first thing you see as a speedrun, obviously it is a bit more confusing. But trust me, if you were to play this casually, it would probably also be confusing. What am I doing? I forgot to meow, which is the most important thing to do when you're a cat, of course. But yeah, casually this game is also very good because the puzzles are actually pretty complex if you solve them for the first time, I want to say. And if they're not, they also release a DLC where they really are complex. Trust me. That was way too early. Why am I even trying to go over there? So yeah, the cat obviously can't interact with the buttons. So I was mentally in the wrong level because we will get there later with the girl again. So yeah, now we're somewhat reunited, but still separated physically. So there's basically 2 levels you're doing in parallel. And now with the meow, we are desyncing the pattern of these guards, so the girl can sneak by. And then we... Oops, that was a bit too late. Yeah. We can draw over the other robot and kill it with the girl, so both can escape. And this is probably the level that can go wrong the easiest. Because there will be a lot of button presses. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Okay, not too bad. Except that I tried to do that too early. Okay. So I think... Yeah. After this, it's like with this, it's 2 more levels until the final level in this chapter. So here I click on the timeline to a rather specific point on the timeline. So there are certain setups I can use to always at least somewhat click on the same... What am I doing? Somewhat click on the same place on the timeline. So in that case, I use the right ear of the cat icon in the lower left. Those kind of setups are a lot easier or a lot more common in the earlier levels because they're less complex. But in the later levels, like this one, they're not really useful because there is so much clicking and precise movement you have to do. So as you can see, lots of doors here. That means a lot of buttons we have to push. This should be okay. Yeah. So after each level, you see that we also skip this kind of review. So right now the entire level would play out again in real time, basically, so you can look at what nice work of art you created, but we can also skip that. That was not always possible. The original version of the game, there was no way to skip cutscenes, so that was, yeah, not that fun. Why am I not opening the door? Okay. Again, as you can see, last level of chapter 3 because of the pink spheres. Of course, the goal in the end is to reach these two locations in the middle here, but as you can also see, some bridges are missing. Yes. Okay. And now the final part of this level. Obviously, it does not fix the bridge in the middle, but this one. So now we need to get the final orb back here. No. Yes. So now we draw over this guy because we need him gone. And now the cat can open the door. And now we can go into the center. When I de-rusted this earlier, I did everything correct up to this point, and then I just drew a blank and stared at the screen for a good 10 seconds until I realized I finished the level and I can just go into the middle. It's pretty good. Good omen. Yeah, that's chapter 3 done. Now we go into chapter 4, which in the lobby you would think is the last level, or last chapter rather, because, you know, 1, 2, and 3, and 4 on the right, but there is a hidden 5th chapter basically. But as you might expect, chapter 4 more complex, which is semi-true. Like, it's very short, there's only like 5 levels. The first 2 are definitely more complex, especially in casual play, but then the next 2 are like not, so I'm not sure what's that all about. Okay, so we trap this guy, then we move over, collect the power-ups, destroy him, wait until we can pass by, and oops, yeah, so that's also very funny. You see the option button in the upper right there. The hitbox for it is actually a lot larger than just the icon, so I meant to click on the door, but I hit the options button. Very good. Okay. No, that... Wait, yeah, okay. That's that. So as I said, the first 2 levels more complex, next 2 not so much. But here they are reintroducing the gimmick of the disintegrating level. That's a bit too late. What am I doing? There we go. And that will be present in the next, or in the rest of the chapter as well. So in the next and in the next level and the one after that. Okay. So again, here I just drag the cursor on the timeline to the right. There is a, well, sounds wrong, but slower fast forward button than the instant fast forward that I usually use. And that's pretty handy most of the times, but if you want to fast forward over longer distances on the timeline, but not do an instant complete, it's usually better to just drag it manually. Anyways, last level of this chapter. And as you can see, level disintegrates, so we have to be careful. Okay. Now, second phase is probably the most difficult one, I want to say. Yes. Yes, okay. And of course the goal is to place both of the characters on those pressure plates, and now we should be able to do that. Unless I mess up. Which I was about to do. No, what are you doing? What character am I on? Okay, yeah, whatever, ignore that. Yeah, but as I also just said, you should ignore that. Also, this is not just in the speedrun this is actually intended, like, especially just as the game came out, I think like 90% of the screenshots on Steam were just that. Like that final part there where the level is about to be dissolved entirely. So yeah, 5th and hidden chapter, which with one interesting bonus gimmick is that you now see your past self. Walk by just there. And the interesting thing about that is you're not allowed to make eye contact with your past self, or else, yeah, game over, so to say. And furthermore, if your current self walk or shares the same square as the cat will meow, which can be rather bad because, of course, it would draw the attention of enemies. But you also do need to use it in some cases. But yeah, these are all previous levels we were already in, which is what I mentioned earlier. You want to sometimes look ahead a bit and take a small detour to make it easier or faster on your future self. That was actually the second to last level with gameplay, so you can get ready-ish on time. Because this is the last one with gameplay. And as I just said, in this one we actually want to share the same square as the cat. But first we need these robots to pass us by. Then we get over here, wait until the cat walks by, so it meows, the robot is distracted, and our past self can go to the exit. So now it's just a few more cutscenes to skip, and then it's time once the credits start, which is when the screen goes black after the girl is laying down in bed. But don't worry, I got you. So that would be in roughly 3, 2, 1 now. And I don't want you to get DMCA'd, so we'll skip the credits. But yeah, that was Timelie, as I said, rather small indie game, but it's really fun, both for speedrunning and for casual play. So give it a try if that's something you're into. Don't worry about the relics. So basically relics are bonus challenges for certain levels, like don't kill enemies or finish it within a certain amount of time. But since this is New Game Plus, we don't care about them. But yeah, that was my run. Thank you very much for watching. Next up, I think we have some goats running and flying around. So hope you enjoy that and hope you enjoy the rest of the marathon. And donate for cute animals.